What's going on, guys? So it's next day. It's actually got some decent weather today, so I still got this that's hung kind of dry, ready to go. But while the weather is kind of decent and it's kind of a nice cloudy day, I was gonna do some body work. So this has been sitting here, the front clip, for a few months now. I was gonna drag it out in the driveway and start scuffing it up because it's just kind of real rough and 40 grit and stuff like that. I just primered it, so I was gonna take it out, get it kind of closer to the level of body work that the car is in, and in between that I'll put the interior together and all that, but do a little bit of sanding, do it out in the driveway so it's not going to make a big mess for me, which would be a nice change of pace. And then hopefully I can put it in the car and start building some sort of bracket to hang on the front. So I'll be going between that and the interior today. It's been a couple hours. I managed to run the column through so I slipped that over, so it's just kind of sitting in there. I went through all the pieces I needed to attach it. So this is the stuff that clamps it under the dash there, and this is the little piece that's going to clamp it to the firewall at the base of it. So I'm screwing around with that, and then I managed to drag the front clip outside. So I'm going to start doing some body work on that. It's I mean, it's pretty rough. You can see, I don't know if it'll show up, but there's still like lots of little holes and stuff like that from where it was just really roughed in. So I'm going to scuff it all up, you know, put some filler on some of the spots that I have to, and go from there. So it'll be kind of a boring day of that. It's pretty windy, so I don't know if we'll be able to paint it out here or not today, but yeah, that's that. So I'll get working on those. You know, as I put body filler on, I'll start working on the column, putting stuff back together and just doing back and forth, and then I gotta clean the garage up because it's trashed yet again. So here's the progress I've been making. I just kind of gave a skim coat on top with some glaze. I'm letting that set up. There's actually a few spots I had to fix with fiberglass, so I just have a little piece of masonite below it. So I'm going to let that harden up. I'll kind of scuff it up and I'll put a bigger patch over top. I'm going to do that on that side as well. And then up here I noticed there's just a crack, so I just kind of brought it down. I put a few layers on that, and then that'll be fine. I'll scuff that all up and it should be good. It's just a little piece right here, so I won't kind of overkill, but I can sand all that off. And then I actually started putting some filler in the center, which I don't need to do because I put that big hood scoop on. Totally forgot about that. So I should really mark that out and don't even worry about the body work there. So just this one last little corner I got to put a skim coat on. I'm going to let that set up and probably start working on the column here. But it's so windy out, so hopefully it's not affecting the sound and all that, but it's kind of crazy out there, so I guess we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I'm going to work on this column here, start putting that together a little bit more permanently, and keep going back and forth. All right, so I'm working on here. Hopefully it's not too crazy windy there, but I got kind of half of it down so you can kind of see all the different colors and layers and all that, but it's pretty flat. I got to put one more coat in here, just right in here. It's kind of got a few little bubbles and all that. Otherwise that's done. I haven't done the back corner yet, obviously, and then I just got to do around the front, but that's just all kind of by hand. And then the fiberglass is all dried up, so once I'm done the body work, I'll grind that down and lay a few more coats down, widen it up. And then on the inside here, so I've got the column all in. It's all bolted up, clamped down where it should be. So yeah, it looks pretty sweet. All I gotta do is, this little chrome piece is a special little bolt that goes through on the bottom there, which I've either lost or never had or something, but it just kind of, fits kind of like that. So pretty simple, but steering wheel turns, columns there, sturdy. It's really coming together, so I'll keep working away at that. Like I said, a few more coats of filler, and I'll probably bring it back before the end of the day here, and I'll drag this thing in the garage. It looks like it's going to rain right away, actually, so that might happen sooner rather than later. All right, so I'm still sanding like crazy. It's real windy out there, so here I'll just kind of talk about it from in the garage. Hopefully the wind noise won't be so bad. So I basically got the top half done. You can see kind of molding line right above the wheel opening. I got basically from there up on both across the whole hood done, so just there down, so I gotta do tomorrow. There's a few little kind of pinholes and stuff, especially along the back where it's gonna butt up to the door. I gotta kind of sand that down, feather it out, then add in some more fiberglass. So I'll probably pick some of that up tomorrow. I ran out of hardener, unfortunately, so on the cloth, so I only got one side kind of roughed in. Like I said, I was going to keep grinding that and then put one more piece across. I still got to do that side. The back I got kind of done. I just roughed it into place. Still got to bring it a little bit more down. And I was just going to kind of, in this section here, a little bit of filler and scuff it all up. And then that's kind of done. A little bit in this corner here. But yeah, it's coming around. So unfortunately now I got to try and drag it in the garage. Which is not heavy, it's just awkward. It likes to roll around. So I'm going to start getting cleaned up. The sun's just going down there, so it's the night's winding down. But it was lots. Got a lot done today. The weather's supposed to be decent again tomorrow, so I'm hoping after work I'll pick up some fiberglass resin, and I think I have a little bit of short strand which I want to put on the edges, and then yeah, get that done. I'd really like to have this thing primered tomorrow, and then start hanging it on the front of the car. So it really it's pretty motivating having this sit on the front of the car, especially with the hood scoops just sitting on there too, right? Looks good. But I'll be back at it tomorrow. Yeah, that's it for now. All right, what's going on, guys? So I'm gonna work on the car here, or the clip. So I just kind of came out here, started you know, getting some stuff out to get some new resin. And I was looking at the car and I noticed somehow got a crack the whole way up the fucking window. So I don't know what happened. I wasn't even really working on the car, nothing. Obviously it must have, something happened right down the center. So that's a pain in the ass. Got to take that out and see what I did wrong or what the problem is. But in the meantime, back this truck up and get back to fiberglassing. So I just did this little piece here. I did that off camera earlier today. So I'll scuff that up, drag this thing out, and start laying down some filler and everything. Hopefully I can get this knocked out today. It's kind of cloudy, hopefully it won't rain, but yeah, I'd like to get it mostly done today, and then maybe I'll paint it tomorrow. So a little slow progress, tedious. So I coated the top half of the hood there, core of the hood, with some filler. Down here I was just roughing this out with some 4D grit. Both sides ready to go, so I was going to go over that with some short strand fiberglass, sand that down, then it'll get a coat of filler as well. So I'm sure I'll just do that and bring it all back when it's kind of somewhat sanded and ready to go. Here's the progress I've had. So I've basically everything down. I just put one more coat of this glaze just on a few spots there that wasn't so great. I took the cowl off the car, or little whatever, the vent there, and I'm just kind of placing it up around there just to get it kind of somewhat close. Again, the center is going to be kind of chopped off. I guess that's where it goes. So you got a bit of a gap right there. I'm not too worried about just yet, because again, I'm going to end up slicing a big part of this out. So I just got to finish that up. Around the front, it's had a couple of coats, and it's basically kind of there. It's so difficult. I feel like I'm chasing my tail trying to flatten it out, but every time you push on it, you can flex the whole thing, because it's just fiberglass and everything, right? So I don't know, it's as good as it's gonna get, I think. So I'll let that dry, scuff it up. I did both sides, so it was pretty good. I just gotta do a little bit around the grill area, which again, it's gonna have the grill on it, so it's not overly important to make it perfect. And then just around here, which I haven't done a whole lot with, but I'm going to wait till it's on the car to make it, so I might have to add a little bit of material or take some down. I'm not really too sure, because I did, when I originally fixed this thing, I added a little material there, because I figured it'd be easier to take it down than add to it once on the car. So yeah, I mean, it's getting there. It's probably about 4:30 right now, so I'm hoping I can finish this stuff off for before dinner, and then I'll probably paint it tomorrow morning. Alright, well, for next day, it's actually gorgeous out. So, drag the front clip out. Give it some more sanding. Like I said, most of it's done around the top and the front and everything, so I just got to do the around the grill area, around the front, and I'll probably run down the sides of the fenders. That should be good. Move the cars out of the way, give it a quick prime job, let that sit for a couple hours, and then put it on the car. So that's what's going on today. So I finished the front end up. I went over it in 120 and gave it a once over in 240 yet again. So there's still a few little holes and cracks and stuff I found. It's kind of never ending, but I'm going to blow it all off with air real good. I'll wash it off and then let it dry, and I'm going to fog it with some high build primer. So hopefully I'll fill in all the kind of little, you know, scratches and stuff like that I've got, and then just all the little the stuff I can't, little cracks. I got to do a little bit more fiberglass work, but I think I'll probably do that once it's on the car, because you're trying to sand it and stuff like that on this stand, it's just working against you and everything. So once it's on, held down the front, pinned down the side, get a lot better job done. Supervisor came out, so I'll hose this thing off and let it dry. Alright, so the hood is dried off as good as it's going to. So I'm going to fog it with some primer real quick here. And then while that's drying, and do a little bit of yard work. It's so nice out. So yeah, I'll spray it down. You guys see it, it'll all be high build primer. So there it is. Primer gray. Before it was that nice light gray, now so I went with this dark high build. So let that set up for a little bit there, and I'll have my old man come over and we'll hoist it on the car. We'll sit and look pretty again, and then maybe next week I'll start working on some sort of a hinge setup for the so it'll flip forward. But next time you see it, it'll probably be on the car. Well, instead of doing yard work, I decided to wash the truck, because that's way more fun. But as it turns out, my old man's just rolling up and we're going to put the hood on. So there we have it. Front clip's on. It's just loose, obviously. I gotta mess around with that. But the car's really coming together. Interior's in, steering wheel, shifter, glass, all the way around. So it's all one color. Ready for just kind of final sanding, and I gotta decide what I want to do. But yeah, it's finally getting there. It's getting near the end of the road. Just kind of little stuff now, like motor trans in, and a bunch of wiring, stuff like that. Otherwise, the front clip came out pretty good. There's a few little spots on there's some little holes in the fiberglass and stuff like that, which I gotta go over, but they're hard to see when it's all a bunch of colors and full of dust and all that. So at least now I can just go in, fill those little spots in. This is the little crack I found, so I gotta fix that yet, but whatever. Once it's on the car permanently, I'll get to it. So I think this will be the end of this video. So make sure you like and subscribe to the channel if you like the car, and give me a couple comments. I really appreciate it, guys. I'll see you on the next one.